Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be going through the backline structure with everything that's gone on in the last sort of week or two, and there's been more sort of talk from, I guess you would say, Saints fans that Travali is probably not going to get that round one start. So I think we need to definitely speak about structure. I know that the Ball Boys did talk about this on the fantasy. Their part about structure, I think they did one last night, about structuring and how you, and they brought up an amazing point, something that I've been trying to sort of speak about, is just that you may be able to have one or two guys on field, but then again, you're really reaching for the guys that are on the bench at D78 and lowering the value there. So it may almost be more influential to go one less rookie on field in, say, the defender line, like I'm about to show, and then be able to field the extra rookie in the midfield, because there's more midfield rookies that can cash generate on the bench rather than sort of having a key defender on the bench slot, which is what we might have to do with how crazy this backline is, and we always get this stage where we're going, oh no. But anyway, let's just jump into this video, and I'll show this on SuperCoach as well, the same thing. And I think this is somehow the backline that I've sort of come to, I guess, at this point of the season. Sheasel, Short, Perryman, Mills, Schoenmaker, and also the likes of DeConing are probably interchangeable. I know it only has 6k, but I can show you that Travalia and then the big benchy. You can see even the forward bench. I've sort of stacked it to a point that I've got enough cash to do different scenario-based things. Especially I want to explore a scenario with interchanging the midfield up a little bit more. But yeah, so you got Sheasel, Short, Perryman, Mills, Schoenmaker, Bo Allen, and then Travalia, who I don't think will be a debutant, and then James Leake there, who I think does play now with the chaos with GWS's injuries, as they have Tom Green, Angwin, and then 3 or 4 suspensions, etc. Everything going on there is chaos. So yeah, I think Leake gets a run there. So if we go to 200 to 299k, and then the most picked guys, I'll just stack a guy that I think will play, Zach Reed. Put him here, and you can see 95k, so I can actually do this change in itself. But just to show you guys how weak this bench is looking like. If we go to, and you're gonna see the midfield and everything in itself, but this team will change. Don't worry about that. But if you look at the rookies here, with taking into consideration Bo Allen, Zach Reed, and Leake, and then we go and look at these 200 to 299k rookies. Hawley playing on a wing probably won't be that valuable. Gibcus out till April or May or whatever. Bice is behind Florent and also Patton, I would think, at this point. Buzzlinger, another guy, played second half in the the trial game against the Essendon, so against the Bombers. So I don't know about him, although he looked really good fantasy-wise and disposal-wise in that second half, but he didn't start. Trainer has been tracking all right for Richmond, but we know keys generally take a little while. I know he's sort of that hybrid, I would say, in a way. So he could get a game with Bolter being out, but then Bolter will probably chuck him straight to not to the curb effectively, but he's very interchangeable, I feel like, for Bolter. Nguyen is just 230k, and I think but we're already looking at 4% guys. Whitlock, probably not. Kevin Smith, it looks like he's behind Banks, I would say, in that distributing role to partner Short. Jath, Wilson, we're already looking at guys down the bottom end here of 1%. So if we're looking, and you can see how the analysis just goes straight away to there's nothing. We got Bo Allen, Leake, Zach Reed, who I do expect these guys to play. If they don't, then we are screwed. We might have almost a forced red dot, or just a really poor score, like a 40s guy in defense that won't gain too much cash. But having said that, you got these 3 guys. I expect our Hawley to probably play, but it won't be in an inviting role. So that's 4. And probably potentially Buzzlinger sometime. Maybe he gets the start, but I expect him to play early, especially with Liam Jones's injury. So that's maybe 5 guys in defense. Then we look at the 300 to 399k category. Travalia, they don't expect him to start. Tyru's injured. Jackson Pryor suddenly becomes the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably the 6th best rookie option effectively. And he was he SSP or mid or rookie draft selection? I don't remember what exactly he was, but he was delisted, I swear, by Brisbane, and now he's been picked up, and he might be our best option because he looks all right, but does he get the start? I have to talk to more Essendon guys about that, but he's definitely an interesting one. Connor O'Sullivan as well, but he becomes another early buy guy, so can you really have him there as well is a big question. Maybe you have to go, and maybe that's the question, do you have to go a utility Connor O'Sullivan or something like that early on or whatever, just to gain, I don't know why you would do that, but maybe that's the case, or maybe you do go with 3. I have actually discussed this with, I think a couple of people, flagged it with a couple of people. Do you go the Perryman, Roberts, Mills, or Perryman, Mills, SDK scenario, where you have the 3 guys, you know it's going to suck because one of them's not going to, you're going to get the 21 guys on field, you're going to have to cop it for that one round. But you avoid these sort of iffy guys in show and maker, or you avoid one of Roberts, Mills, or Perryman if they all go off, missing out on them, etc. So you give yourself a lot more flexibility with going larger in the backline. It's just, I feel like absolute chaos, to be honest with you, this backline, especially with the news that Travaglia, who was pretty much set in stone D6 for most people, looks to be not playing. Obviously, this will change if Travaglia is handed a debut, probably on the wing, we would expect. But I think it's just being flexible in pre-season. I know a lot of people have a set structure in the midfield, a lot of people have their set rucks, a lot of people have a set, sort of almost pretty much set here across all lines. But I think a lot of people are forgetting that this defender line can be absolute chaos. We saw Zach Reid played, 40% TOG or something in the one game and then was out injured. We don't know if Leake will be even given a debut. Bo Allen is a first-year player, so we're relying on we're down to about 6 options, realistically, that are a chance to play in the defender line already for that, for the rookies. And that kind of limits the option, whereas if we look at the midfield here, you've got obviously Nevitt should play. We expect him to play. And O'Driscoll we expect to play. Sheldrick we expect to play. And then you've got Jagger, Sidraper, Levi Ashcroft, Harvey Langford, Sam Layla could be a chance to play. And then you've got all the other guys. Like if we look at here, the 300k, you've got Finn O'Sullivan, Smiley, Lombard, Lindsay. That are all guys that I haven't got on my side, alongside like McAuliffe if he gets a game, etc. And then even in the 200k bracket, you've got a lot of other guys like Clay Hall, Gross, etc. Murphy probably won't get a game off. Jacko Hasty as well could be an interesting option, but it looks like he'll be on a wing, but he could be a good 230k option potentially. And then you've got so many other guys that potentially could play that would help out that cause, whereas we're looking at probably, and I'll say this realistically, there's probably about 12 or 13, I would say, midfield rookies in that 200 to 350, 360k bracket that we're looking at, and then an extra 3 or 4 in the 400k bracket, which is the same for the defender line. But in the defender line, you're probably realistically looking at about 5 or 6, and that for an extra rookie on field to have 6 more options is just a lot more. So I think that this whole video is basically defined on who are you going to have in. I don't think you can run a 2 defender rookie base side, just because if it goes wrong, your versatility is absolutely shot. So I think you need to beef up the defense here in order to survive almost in a way, because if one of these guys does go down early, you're going to have a red dot that you basically cannot move. And then if you do get that red dot with the Mills and Perryman, you're going to cop a red dot and be down to 21 on round 3 already. So you're kind of putting yourself in you're kind of limiting the options if everything goes wrong or something goes wrong. Then if we move over to SuperCoach, I think you'll see a similar story here. If we go over here, and I'll make this just a little bit smaller, you can see this. I've been messing around with this and trying to figure out to figure out the how this goes in terms of what I do with D3 through 5, and I think the same picking the same guys roughly or across the whole thing, I guess, was a good scenario, picking Perryman, Mills and Schoenmaker at this point, and getting rid of the likes of a Travaglia from the bench here. Travaglia was sitting here for most of the time and Bo Allen on here, but now it's swapped around a little bit. I expect the league to play, as I said. Hawley's here, but this could easily go to a Zach Reed, who we expect to play, but obviously we get the luxury of opening round for that. And then my bench is so stacked with cash here, and I do have the extra 104k here at the moment, but we do know that rookies do sort of dominate the structuring of it. If you go here and you want to look at Schoenmaker to De Koning here, you can do that with the team that I've got currently. That gets me down to 12k plus the beefed up bench, and that would mean that I would cop that extra player out. It would mean that I can I do any way to get I don't have any other defenders there, so I need to probably bring in the defender to put on field in that round, but yeah, if I was to do something like this, but obviously I don't expect De Koning to solo ruck at the moment, so that's why I've got it with Schoenmaker at the moment, because if we look at this, and this is an absolute dream that this thing has been created. I just want to bring up the name of it for you guys, whoever, because I know it was some guy on Twitter that did it, created the tool here that I'm about to show. I just want to bring it up. It is PT901, and we'll just bring up the tool now for you guys, which is basically it's a Chrome extension that allows you to predict the price generation, projected price, etc., break even, price change through here. You can do it as a all-encompassing, say we say Schoenmaker goes and averages 70. You can see this here, and I'm pretty sure that it obviously won't be spot on, but is the closest and the most in-depth Chrome extension that we've got so far. And I'll try and find a link to the Chrome extension again, so that I can, it'll be in the comments, not the comments, maybe the description for this video if I remember it. But yeah, this is an absolute tool, and you'll see here that Schoenmaker can go by round 5 or 6, by gather round 330k. I think you can easily, he's probably going to be one of the first guys that we upgrade, because if you look at the 70, his cash gen starts to stall pretty quickly here. Obviously, if we include some spike games, say against Richmond, we say he's going to score an 85, and I hope I don't stuff this up. An 80, let's just do it this way. It doesn't seem like it allows you to, at the moment, like get that spot. No, I can do it there. There we go. So we say he's going to get an 85, and then that means that by round 5 or so, or round 6, he's at 355k. It's a hard upgrade, but it feels like it's a gettable upgrade if we just have some spike games here. Say he has another spike game against Adelaide of a 95 or something like that, and then suddenly, yeah, he's at 360k or so at round 6, and you're starting to get into upgrade season, where you just hope that one of these games he also has a spike game here. Say he has a 110 somehow, which is not really too realistic, but could happen. Then you're looking at him at 405k or so, which is, yeah, right around the marker for him. And at 405k, you can definitely get that upgrade in, where you'd have the extra cash, because if we look at, say, the league projection, if we were to go here and say he's going to go 65, let's just put out that projection there. By round 7, he's already, if we were to do this projection here, he's already at 277k. That's already 160k. So that's 160k on Schoenmaker's head. That's already 570, 560k that you can get to. And say we had a couple of spike games for the likes of a leak here. You're already looking at potentially 295k. That's about 180k. And let's just include a spike game here of a 95, give or take. And I know I'm being very, very generous, because stuff can happen, but you can also get this from like a Layla and stuff like that, or an Ashcroft, a Langford, that will do it a lot more easily. But again, at round 7, he's already 315k, which is plus 200k already. And then you can move Schoenmaker on. You could get that extra. You could already combine probably 2 rookies into not a mid-price, but maybe someone else that the D6 already occupies or something. And I think it will become the case here where we're beefing up this defense very, very quickly because we have the flow on midfield rookies, but I don't think we have the defender rookies, but obviously that can change. And so I think you have to be open to ideas of getting that, let's actually look at the defenders because there's already flags on a lot of them. If we look at defenders here, defenders, and then we go, Sam Flanders, back issues for this in pre-season. Harry Sheezel, Luke Ryan. Really, when Freo play fast, it's a worry. Lockie Whitfield, I have on my side. I like it. Dane Zorko probably going to be impacted when Kitty Coleman comes in, so I don't want to start there. Jeremy McCubbin is so old at this point. I don't know how old. I say that as I've just gone past Dane Zorko, but how old is Jeremy McCubbin? I feel like he's got a back injury in him soon. But I just want to check. He's 32, turning 33 in April. So there's that. Jack Sinclair coming off a short preseason due to the hamstring injury that he's touch and go for round one. Looks like he should be fine. But there's that. Dan Houston has that early buy and stuff. But he's a guy that you could potentially... Let's do some realistic price projections here. And obviously, I don't think it's going to be able to put in the round zero is not going to... Okay, so the good thing is for Dan Houston, the round zero is not going to obviously count because he doesn't play. But you can do all these sort of... The price projector here for Dan Houston of his... what's he going to go? And you can see here, by round 6 or 7, he's roughly about the same price that he would be. Say against Sydney... He cops a James Jordan tag or something like that, and he goes 80. Let's just put it like that, right? Against Sydney, and suddenly the Brisbane, Essendon, Geelong, etc. matchups, he's suddenly 560k, and we just showed Shellmaker could get it with 70s up to about, or 70s with a couple of spike games get up to 400k, give or take. And then suddenly in round 6, 7, 8, around DPP time, if you don't have the Hollands, you can easily get to Dan Houston in the first upgrade season. And that's where you're getting that guy there. And what buy does he have? He's got a good enough buy that you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, you're getting Dan Houston, you're potentially getting a Jack Sinclair or someone else like that. Or potentially a Wanganeen Malira if he started off hot. Or a Max Holmes, what buy is he on? He's on the later buy, round 16. So you're getting probably one of these 3, 4, 5 guys there that are very much undervalued, that couldn't really access early on. So you're getting them, and that's where I think the defender line is almost going to be structured in that you're going to have to start very, very... You're going to probably pay up a little bit more than we've been paying up this preseason for it. And then also upgrading quickly into it, I feel like is the plan, which is awkward to probably have for also rookies on the midfield line or whatever is going to happen there with that. But it's probably going to be what's the case with the defender line. But having said all that, that is the video there going through the defender line. As you probably would have noticed if you did tune in, that this video was uploaded later in the day. And this is just a slight experiment just to see numbers, as it does seem a lot of you, and it would follow the trend, a lot of you tune in later in the day as the work day is over and done with. But if you did enjoy that video and you do enjoy the later time slot, give it a like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.